Blast of extreme cinema is a confrontational, controversial classic which picked up the 1998 Critics' Prize at Cannes before going on to torment audiences and censors around the world. Seul, Contre, Tous, which translates literally as Alone Against All, was an accidental feature debut for writer-director Gaspar Noé. Having introduced us to Philippe Narn's existential butcher in his short film Carne, Noé had originally intended to make a 40-minute sequel which would then play on a double bill with the original. But, as is the way with these things, Seul, Contre, Tous had a life of its own and soon blossomed into a full-length film which could indeed stand alone. The cinematic reference points for Seul, Contre, Tous are as varied as they are bizarre. According to the director, the inspiration for the seductively vile voiceover came from watching an Austrian movie entitled Angst, which was allegedly too outrageous for release in the UK. The ironic intertitles, which warn of forthcoming unpleasantness, look like a direct homage to William Castle's Homicidal, although Noé claims never to have actually seen that film, but merely to have heard about its unique fright break gimmick. Most significant, however, are the allusions to Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, which many critics have identified as the film's central reference point, and which come to a head during the butcher's visit to a porno cinema, where he muses upon his belief that there is nothing to life but sex and death. According to the BBFC, who clearly took Seul, Contre, Tous fairly seriously, the problem with the porno cinema scene was that it contained sustained images of a type that were regularly prosecuted under Sections 2 and 3 of the Obscene Publications Act. Claiming that scenes of intercourse which had previously been okayed in films like I Know Corrida and The Idiots were both less graphic and more fleeting, the BBFC insisted that there was simply no precedent for passing Seul, Contre, Tous uncut. Instead, the distributors agreed to employ an optical smudge which, according to the board, reduced the pornographic explicitness to an acceptable level whilst retaining a reasonable sense of what the director had intended. Now, while this may all sound convincing, it's hard not to conclude that it was exactly what the director had intended that caused all the problem in the first place. That it was the horribly explicit depiction of human bodies being joined together whilst human souls are being ripped apart that really got under the board's skin. Because as the film keeps telling us, we're born alone, we live alone, we die alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Gaspar Noé's I Stand Alone.